Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to the American Investor Show. Please click subscribe if this is your first time listening. From trader and CEO interviews to breaking news about companies you won't hear anywhere else, nobody does a better job at keeping you in the know when it comes to penny stocks. The term penny stock generally refers to a security issued by a very small company that trades at less than $5 per share. Penny stocks are extremely risky, yet they offer rates of return on investment not seen anywhere else. The host, guest, and callers are not registered financial advisors licensed by any government entity, and therefore, the following should be considered entertainment. The host, guest, and callers disclaim all liability in the event any information, commentary, analysis, opinions, advice, and/or recommendations prove to be inaccurate, incomplete, or unreliable, or result in any investment losses. Before investing in penny stocks, you should consult a professional to determine what strategy may be best for your individual needs. Now, without further ado, your host, LaSalle Anungu.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? It's your boy Sal in the building. This is episode 271. Thank you for joining me here on another episode of Penny Stocks Live, the American Investor Show, brought to you by Equity Feed. You get 2 weeks free, equityfeed.com. No credit card required. And, of course, the good people over at Black Box Stocks who have got me killing it right now, man. I've been killing it this week on the option side of the market. Blackboxtrader.org is the website if you want to take advantage of those deals over there. Ladies and gentlemen, today was the busiest day on the market. We had worries of increased interest rates pulling down the real estate stocks, the real estate REITs, the retail stocks, a few of the construction stocks. We have a couple of home builders that are crashing. I have a really nice home builder. Well, it's not a small cap, but it's definitely trading for significantly below $5 a share. I'll show you guys today on the show. We'll talk about your stocks. Of course, you already know what the call-in line is, 305-600-2896. Shout out to all the people in the chat room right now. Juan Diaz, Norman Powell, and Bullard. Hello. Hickamizer. Who else was in here? Ken, Trevor Proby. What's up, man? John Rambo, Sleepy, Bidkin the Barber. Michael B., Chris McKinney, Gucci. Chris was in here in the building first, I see. All right. Shout out to all the people in the chat room. Again, I see a couple new names. JT the Bullhead Trader, what's up? James Cade. Coralie, what's up, Coralie? Beautiful Coralie in the building. I keep telling y'all how fine she is. You should see her picture, man. Beautiful woman. Woody Wright, what's up, man? It's been a minute. Live Life, Andrew Gladness, Right Direct. Ganovian 2K, what's up? All right, so let's get to it, guys. Let's get to it. Overall, I'm looking at the cues here. Sideways day. I think everybody was looking for what, the stocks that took us here, if you want to call them the FANGs or you just want to call them these tech stocks like Facebook, Baba, and many of these other ones that kind of got us here, Apple included. They knocked it out the park today. Apple today, I read the numbers after hours today. You did see a decline in iPhone sales, but right now, the stock is up after hours significantly. 173 right now, bid and ask. Closed at 167, so shout out to those traders who are in the profit really nicely after hours, looking to cash in on that tomorrow. The stock sold off going into the week, as you can see here, but again, you're going to have a really nice open at about 173, so about right here on the market tomorrow on Apple, and that should rally on that news too. With a lot of indecisiveness going into the Apple earnings. I remember we had a couple people actually ask me in the chat room what I thought about Apple. I had no clue. I saw on CNBC you had a lot of people who really didn't have a clue on what was going to happen with Apple. So nice to see Apple still in the game. Nice play with them and delivering on earnings. We had a surprising number by Facebook today. Facebook, another solid win for them. The stock, moved higher after hours, but I'm seeing here now basically at the same 193, unless it's changed, and I'm not seeing it on my end. But 193 Facebook right now. Facebook came out, surprised some people by coming out and admitting that fewer people on Facebook. There are fewer people spending time on Facebook, rather. Let me correct myself. There are fewer people spending time on Facebook. Is that a problem moving forward? I don't think so, because, again, I don't know what the alternative is. If you want to talk about social media and connecting with friends and family, and I don't know what the alternative is. I know that we're not going back to a society where we're, simply face-to-face all the time. I think Facebook is a great platform if you know how to use it properly. And, moving forward, I think they still don't have any competition out there from what I can see. I don't know of any competition for Facebook than its own product, Instagram. All right. What else? Google missed out today on that. It was really interesting to see that Google miss. They came out and said, what was they said? Loss trimmed. They reported a loss of $3 billion for the fourth quarter, or $4.35 a share versus, that's $3 billion versus income of $5.3 billion the quarter before. Revenue climbed to about $32 billion versus $26 billion for last year's fourth quarter. So an improvement in revenues. Damn, these companies are making so much money. This is ridiculous. No wonder people in these fields get paid so well. And by the way, did you see those Amazon numbers too? Those Amazon numbers were insane. Amazon up huge too. We talked about Amazon yesterday on the show. I said it was just too expensive. The stock sold off today. I don't know why, but right now up huge after hours. I think we were looking at 1480 right now. So Amazon up nearly $100 after hours. Nearly $100 after hours, Amazon. 646. Oh, Ken, call me back, Ken. I don't know what happened there. Call me back, Ken. You only rang one time. Yeah, Amazon. Look, Amazon's a monster. I've said this on the show for the last couple days now. That's just one you can just continue month after month after month. If you can afford the monthly option, just month after month. It's a sure thing. All right, it's a sure thing. The company came out and said a quarter is what, 90 days? They made $60 billion. How the hell do you make $60 billion in 90 days? 646, you're on the air. What's up?
Good evening, Sal. I just wanted to really let everyone know how great Sal is. The BYOC, I was chatting with him via Twitter yesterday morning, and it's hard. I'm good at finding these stocks, but it's hard to pull that sell trigger. And I didn't want to lose my profit. The stock reminded me to think of the people that have millions and millions of those shares at 0001, 00, whatever, and you really should sell. And I did, and it crashed today. So I hand out the Sal. Really.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much, Ken. This is another stock where I've been I haven't been in the business for a long time, but long enough to see these stocks. And again, this was another stock that ran from 000 or 0011. Back in August of 2016. So guys have been in this stock. They have been patient. They created their own little fan club around the stock. I go into the chat rooms. I see the forums. These guys have been in this stock for a long time. They were ready to take profits. They were ready to enjoy their spoils of the war. And BYOC, as we started seeing some hesitation up there at those higher 15, 16 cent level, those high 15s, you know, it just made sense for them to go ahead and sell. And I'm glad you were one of those people who got out early, because I think BYOC is probably going to sell off. You know, I don't see this coming back maybe for at least another day or two, maybe not until next week for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take those profits, you know, 30, 40, 50, 60%. You got to take it off the table. There's always you can always buy, the commissions are cheap. You can always get back in.
Absolutely.
And so thank you. The other one I want to talk about the AKER. It was up. It closed at 36. It closed after hours. It closed at 38. The volume huge. It broke above the 200-day moving average at 32 this morning. And what do you think? I mean, this is intense.
Well, I still got it far from the 200. I got the 200 at 92 cents. Are you looking at it in a shorter time frame?
Yeah, the daily. I was looking at the daily.
Okay, because let me see. Is that the 200? Yeah, that's the 200. I'm looking on the daily right now. I got the 200 at 92 cents. Let me move to a smaller time frame like the hourly. Yeah, it crosses on the hourly, but I mean, again, the daily is kind of where you use the 200, but the hourly is looking really nice. I mean, obviously, this move is recent in AKER. It's predominantly been in January. It's been a nice run in the stock. You've covered that falling window that was created back in December. So now I'm concerned about what's left over here. You know, what is left for the stock here now? You've closed the gap that was created back in December, as you can see here from my line that I just drew. Where does it go from here, Ken? I'd like your opinion.
Right. Well, I think there's some news from the FDA and whatever, but it was the 50-day. I'm so sorry, 31 cents. It crossed over the 50-day today.
Okay.
So that makes more sense. Again, you know, I see what you're saying. You're saying that the 40 to 50 cent level is probably a good level to take some profits.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you've been in the stock now, you know, since those oversold levels, yeah, this is where you sell. I mean, you covered the gap. In traditional technical analysis, you know, they say when the gap is covered, that's where you would take your profits at, because you would tend to see resistance there. And you see it here in the candlestick on the daily where, you know, there was hesitation at the fill of the gap. So, you know, I think this is where, yeah, if you've been in the stock from those oversold levels, you take profit here. But interesting to see where moving forward. Obviously, you know, if it has that news coming out, you know, that's what you would play. But again, I don't know how soon or far away that news could be coming out. So for new people, I would stand back in the sidelines and see what happens.
I was just reading Corey Kwan in the chat room saying African Emporium was talking about AKR on Twitter today, and he's saying it's going to run more. I'll have to look at his tweet and see why he thinks that. I don't know.
Sure.
The third thing is the ANDI. This morning, I sold off about half the position. I bought it back at 3:30 this afternoon because during the morning, you look at the chart, it reminds me of BYOC. It's topping.
Very similar. I mean, it's practically the same setup. Here's another stock coming from insane lows, right? I mean, this is a stock that, again, you didn't have incredible volume, but they were buyers here. There were people who took positions in the stock. They are, again, up huge. And, again, when there's any kind of you know, strong resistance at these higher levels, you had a good day today. I'm actually kind of impressed today.
That's what I said. That's why I put it back.
You know, so yeah, that's actually that's a good candlestick for today. I mean,
right.
It's showing that, you know, you did have buyers at those lower levels. So that's a very interesting candlestick for today's move.
It is. And 20 million traded in the last hour.
Right,
so,
right.
We'll
especially after a long-legged doji day, which was yesterday. So that shows a lot of confidence in that. I think you're right to go back in. It's going to be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. If you want to definitely make sure you hold those threes. If you don't, then I think you know that conversation about selling has to come back into the queue as well.
Definitely. One more thing, the marijuana sector. Remember last Friday you tweeted me, Ken, the POTN is going to hit $1. It got close, 95 cents.
Yeah,
but it's corrected hard.
It's correct. It got close to it, but again, this is another one that kind of ran really, really hard. And you know, guys again who had been in a penny to 6, 6 to 15, 15 to 30, 40 to to 90, 95, and it just got tired. It just got tired on POTN. Will it come back? I think so, but right now you got to get those sellers out of there, and you got to get those bag holders to eventually admit that, they to reach that stage where they just have to accept that loss, and once they're out, you can finally get their buying pressure back up to the upside.
One more, Sal, and I'll let you go. To NPHC, it's another one. I have a pretty big position in that one, and they had huge news this morning about some partner pharmaceuticals. It was a good day.
Yeah, this one I don't know too much about. I don't know too much about Nutra Pharma. I see here decent volume coming into the stock here. 107 million shares traded today. Looks like guys are buying and holding and taking some of that float off the table. So that's a good thing. That's keeping it going higher. So, again, another very similar stock that looks like BYOC, the other ticker we just pulled up. Nice chart. Looking forward.
Good. All right, I'm going to let you go. Thank you.
Appreciate that, Ken. Thanks for the call, bro. Shout out to Ken for the call. Yeah, my only, again, that candlestick is a little telling. It's not too far off from the high. I mean, the high was 0068. You closed at 0062, which isn't bad. If it was a little bit longer, then I'd be a little concerned, but not too bad there. Not too bad there. Appreciate you, Ken, as always. One more call, and then we'll get to your tickers in the chat room. 813, what's up?
What's up, sir? It's Woody.
Hey, Woody, what's up, man?
Yeah, I play, from last year, I always play Apple when it's gonna have earnings, and it never failed me yet,
Yeah.
So I played like 5 minutes before the market closed, and I'm up. And I'm glad to see you come over to the options, sir, because I remember in the past when I used to text a little thing like, buy a call, buy a put, and you used to say, sir, we don't play options here. So I'm happy to see you come over to this side.
Yeah, man, I've been using a lot of the strategy from from my penny stock days in options, and it works flawlessly, man. Being able to identify the change in sentiment, because it's so quick in the, OTC small cap side, I'm able to see those in large caps a lot earlier than, I think most people are. It doesn't make me the greatest trader, but I'm a very consistent, profitable option trader because I play very safe. But, yeah, man, I want to thank people like you and Connor and Callie and all those guys who
Trading Jedi,
you guys are the ones that kind of got me and Mr. Lloyd and a few other people in here in options. So it's a great play. Speaking of Apple, I mean, you're up huge right now after hours. I'm just curious, what strike did you play?
At the time I got some money tied up, so I just get it at the money.
Okay.
I just buy a share because like me, I'm at work, so patients calling, I have to go in the bathroom and place a little trade on my phone and run back out, show my face on the floor.
No problem. No
but
problem.
thank you for helping me to get out of Cannes. And I was in Cannes for a little CANN, the marijuana play. I've been in it a little over a year now. I only spent $100, but I was up like $1,000 on it. And then you start to go hard, and it said it's worth shit and it's gonna crash and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
I'm hoping you sold at the top when I started talking a lot of shit about the company.
Oh, I sold it. I make like $700 profit on it.
Good.
By just spending $100. I mean, you can't beat that.
Absolutely. So you definitely got it at the low. So definitely congrats on that, man. Appreciate you on that, Woody, right?
Yeah, and I'm looking to look at Square because I think I want to start Square for the next few days coming because Square look like it's ready for.
Well, I'm curious. Why would you buy Square here when you can get PayPal for a discount?
No, I mean short Square. I would short it.
Well, say that again.
I'm just waiting for. I said I would short it.
Oh, short. Okay. Short Square.
Yeah, short.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Short Square.
Yeah,
okay.
Because it made that run already, so it looked like it's gonna drop again, man.
Okay. Yeah. If you're talking about shorting Square, let me get back to the Square Okay, well, yeah, I
Yeah.
can see where it's kind of showing a little bit of weakness here, possible. It doesn't, yeah, almost looks like a double top. It's not setting up as pretty, and the valley isn't as
Yeah.
straight, but looks something
Yeah,
similar to that.
it's almost showing you like an even star, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like an even star, you know, we wait for confirmation and go into maybe day trade it or see how it goes.
there it is, man.
But
Appreciate you, bro.
all right,
Thank you,
keep
Woody
up the
Wright.
good work.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you for the call. Great call on that one as well. Appreciate you, Woody Wright. So let's get to the chat room. Let's get to the chat room and your tickers, ladies and gentlemen. All right. What's going on, Lord Yasay? Been a minute. Bad scientist in the building. Stock Trapper. All right. Seeing some people in here. Familiar names in the chat room. Jeff, what's up? Yeah, Jeff. A lot of the cannabis stocks took quite a hit today. Quite a hit today. Let me see what my Kush bottles do. I saw that sell off too. This is one of the more legit plays. This is one of the more legit plays. I love Kush bottles, and this is gonna fight a little bit. This is gonna fight a little bit. You're not gonna see this come all the way down to 4 or anything like that again, but it's fighting for its life under the sentiment right now that's kind of changing on marijuana, and it's not coming from the government. It's just coming from the fact that there's just nobody really, everybody's just kind of like with about marijuana right now. So what's got to change is that you're going to eventually start getting some of these numbers from California, from these other states in terms of what's really happening on the retail side. How much money is really being made? That's what we're not hearing yet from some of these marijuana companies. And once we start getting that in, I think things will change. But yeah, we saw quite a few of them sell off pretty aggressively today. AB, C, what is that? ABCFF. No, I think I got this confused. That's not the one I'm looking for. What's the Canadian one? I think it's like TW Canopy Growth. There it is. Canopy Growth is what I want to look at. Yeah, I saw that one tumble. That's another, pretty legit Canadian cannabis play. So the industry overall, MJX, which is the marijuana index, right? The first actual marijuana ETF, that's taking a beating. I mean, what a beating that this ETF is taking right now. And again, this was another situation that was rallying into the California legalization of marijuana in that state. Again, since that time, it's just, boy, what a loser. What a loser. Losing nearly $7 worth of value in MJX. So hard times right now for marijuana. Somebody brought up the ticker from Mass Roots, I think, right? MSRT. Yes, that is. Down 27%. Oh, my goodness. So, yeah, marijuana stocks getting really beat up here. But, again, once you get the floor here, once you find where the floor is, there's going to be profit here. There's going to be profit here. I mean, this is a up and coming industry. This is going to be a booming industry. This is going to be something that's going to be here for a long time. So you're going to go through these phases. You're going to go through these phases. All right. What do I think about Netflix for tomorrow? What about Netflix for tomorrow? I played Netflix to the downside a couple of days ago. If you saw that earnings, that play where I saw again that doji candlestick or spinning top. Well, it's kind of very small body to be a spinning top, but I'll call it a spinning top. And I played this day. I should have held it if I knew it was gonna sell off again today on Netflix. I'm not sure if it's the selling is done just yet. You had great earnings day. I don't know if it's done just yet. As you can see, based on this candlestick, you still got a lot of lack of commitment from buyers. The body is toward the end of, of the shadow. So I'm not a fan of saying that this is going to be a green day tomorrow on Netflix. You might see a continuation of some bearish energy there. All right. Yeah, that's just me saying that, just based on what I'm looking at here on the chart. All right, so let's keep it going. KG. KG. We'll talk about construction stocks in just a minute. I want to get to your tickers right now. All right, KG. Hey, Rob, sometimes I'm wrong, All right, sometimes I'm wrong. I mean, I'm guessing you're long on the stock. Hopefully you got some time on your option. But again, you had a great earnings announcement a few days ago. It ran into earnings, got overextended, and just kind of got tired. And now you got some profit taking. And I'm looking for Netflix to at least show a candlestick that shows a little bit more commitment from buyers in it. And that's not the candlesticks that you'd look to see. All right, ATOS. Ooh, what happened to ATOS today? Down 12%. You actually got lower. You actually got a lot lower. Let's zoom in on the action on the 5-minute. What happened here? ATOS, here's February 1st today. Wow, you just kind of sold into the afternoon. You had some dip buying. But, I mean, when I'm looking at this 2-day move here from the 31st to the 1st, yesterday and today, you're seeing here where you're trying to test support. You're trying to test support here at 66 cents. You actually cracked it. Wow. You're fighting for your life here in ATOS. It's going to be interesting to see what happens tomorrow on this stock. I don't know. I'm seeing some news that was released. It looks like the company's working on some kind of breast cancer drug. A clinical stage pharmaceutical company. When you're working on treating difficult and critical diseases like cancer, it's always one that kind of brings people to the party. But again, when I look at the primary trend here, this is a very bearish stock, right? Very, very bearish stock. And as you can see here, when it rallies, it doesn't have a great history of holding those gains for long periods of time. So this is, again, ATOS showing its history. So the candlestick for today swallows up the previous day's candlestick. That's quite a bearish sign. So ATOS, this could be game over for the stock. I'm not saying it that's the sign. That's the sign. It's just being shown that it's game over for ATOS. We'll see what happens tomorrow. All right, we talked AKER, covered the gap in AKER. Somebody was saying that we had a trader that used to be in here who is talking, good things about it. I don't know what else is going on with AKER though. DRWN, continuation of yesterday's move. Here's another one that, again, that's it's a lot of volatility here, right? I mean, this is quite a range. This is quite a range here from 777 to 0015. That's almost 100% in one day. And DRWN. So you had quite a sell-off. That's always the fear of these stocks that are kind of coming out of those 000 areas where we talked about how, when guys who have been in the stock, you can zoom out, you can see here it's been 000 stock for a long time. Guys are up, 400, 500, 600% at these levels. He's tight on cash or isn't necessarily concerned about the long picture. He's going to sell. And he's going to dump and walk away with those gains. And as you can see here, going into today, where was that? 9:30. Okay, so the 9:30 round. Where are we at? 9:30. So we actually opened up right here. And now as you can see, I mean, they just dumped right there into the open and walked away with their profits. So we'll see. We'll see if you got, the buying pressure to keep it going. If you got the buying pressure to keep it going, you got to maintain that volume. All right. KBLB. Craig Biocraft. I've seen this stock pulled up before. But again, I don't know much about it. I mean, you got our call-in line. So if you know quite a bit about KBLB, let me know. But again, not the prettiest looking chart for 2017. You know, again, we had a really great 2017. It was one of the greatest bull markets we've ever seen. Definitely one of the best we'll see in our lifetime. I don't think we'll ever see. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that because I think when we have, you know, self-driving vehicles and stores without cashiers or employees, I think you'll see stocks put up insane earnings. But for right now, this is the greatest, you know, bull market right now. And where was companies like, so when you pull up stocks that look like this for 2017, you know, I say, oh, there was something really fundamentally wrong here. All right, there was really something wrong here. Andrew, what I think about heavy bids, 1 million on options, Facebook calls. What does that mean? Well, yeah, I mean, if you're seeing a million, you know, if you're seeing $1 million going into a particular option, that's one you got to pay attention to on Black Box. If you see a guy commit $1 million to a trade, again, whether it's a financial institution or an individual investor, nobody who has $1 million is putting that in a market to lose. All right, I suspect, and it's not very popular to say this, but a person who has $1 million to trade, to risk, is a very smart person. That person is smarter than you because you don't have $1 million. I don't have $1 million. So I'm going to look at what that person is doing and say, wait, let me use what I have to invest and follow that person into that trade because that individual may have information. I believe that person has information that I don't have, or the knowledge to see something that could be potentially happening that I don't know about, right? That I don't know about. So that's why $1 million trades, in my opinion, are quite telling and ones you need to pay attention to. All right. AMZA. AMZA. Is that what you put in? AMZA Shirley Lewis? Yeah. The only trades like that you don't follow into is kind of those ones that are like way out of the loop, right? So it's like $1 million trade for, you know, Apple puts it like 105 or some crap like that. That's when that's obviously some kind of downside protection that you don't have to follow anybody, and that's something that somebody's going way long, hoping for some kind of you know, capitulation or to protect themselves, to hedge their gains that they have right now. AMZA InfraCap MLP looks like an ETF. I'm not sure what this is about. Who brought that up? Shirley Lewis. I don't know what this is about. AMLH, Ken. You guys remember, those of you guys who've been watching the show, this was that pump and dump. Again, you know, I love the brother who you know, brought this to our attention, and he was on The Bachelor, and he took over the company and just started running all kinds of just games on Facebook as well as on Twitter, and got a lot of people sucked up, including people who were in my chat room. And I did my best to reveal the truth to them, but they were so smitten by the CEO as well as the story he was selling, they got upset at me. And I continue to say, hey, this is a scam, this is a scam, this is a scam. Eventually, you know, they went into a death spiral. And that's where you have here with AMLH. And again, a death spiral, in terms of a OTC stock, is basically where it becomes literally a paper selling scheme, paper for cash, where they're literally giving, you know, shares for literally nothing in order to raise cash. And that's basically what you have here. So the float is incredibly large here in comparison to where it was here, right? And I think if you look through the filings, you'll see that. And you can just simply see that by, you know, looking at the volume here on my colored volume bar chart, where you're seeing incredible amount of volume, but what's happening? It's not moving the stock. So you got buyers, probably more buyers here than you had here, right? or here, but the float is so large. You have so many shares out there. It's not moving. It's not moving. That's AMLH. And Ken, I see you bringing about it. I wouldn't touch this stock until you start, okay, so they are retiring some debt. All right. So they are retiring some debt. And again, that goes back to the conversation I just had. I'm seeing here on the news about, the death spiral, all right, where they create debt in order to exchange for cash. And that debt turns into shares for investors who bought the debt from the company. All right. Where can you learn more about options? Check out optionalpha.com. They got a great free course, optionalpha.com. Also check out the option. It's basically like an option TV network. It's called Tasty Trade. And it's basically 24/7. They got great shows. During the trading day, you can watch them, and they're just like CNBC. Really interesting network, tastytrade.com. They got a YouTube page as well. All right, let's keep it going. Ken, I haven't seen you talk about AKS. Pretty disappointing. Pretty disappointing. I don't know if you rode that into earnings. Did you eventually buy those calls or not? I mean, very disappointing. AKS, we haven't talked about it. No one really brought it up. AKS, the steel company. Really disappointing numbers, man. Really, really disappointing numbers. As you can see here, the stock's lost almost $1.60 over the last 3 days in AKS. And this is probably going a lot lower. I can think this is probably going into the low fours. Yeah, JT, definitely. I love that. I love Tasty Trade. Love Tasty Trade. Sometimes I have to turn it off because some of the guys, like during the show, they'll talk about their certain positions, and I'm like, why would you trade that? So sometimes I'm like, okay, all right, I'm not going to listen because some of their trades are just like ridiculous. Like they'll do certain debit spreads or butterflies where the profit is like $250 max profit potential. I'm like, why would you even do a trade like that? Like, I understand you want to protect your downside risk and whatever, but I wouldn't go into a trade just my max profit being $250. What's the point? Like, I don't, LIGA. Ooh, Liga Assets. Nice run on that one. Interesting run. Yeah, this is a beautiful run on that one. Up well over 100%. LIGA since 110, December 10th, or January 10th, rather. Nice play on LIGA. Nothing bad to say about it. Don't know too much about it. I thought is this a marijuana? Or this is a home builder. Okay, this is a home builder. This is a home builder, Liga Assets. This is an interesting move by a home builder. We're moving into, I think we already have had it. I'm not big onto the large caps, but interest rates are going up, right? Let me see here. Interest rates are going up, and well, they have been increased. The Fed did increase interest rates, so we're going to see inflation possibly rise a little bit today. Or did a little bit this year. All right, so they caused a pullback in the home builders. This is an interesting take here because it's an OTC stock, so it's going to trade a little bit differently. A lot of OTC stocks, they kind of do their own thing. They don't follow the general order of things, right? Obviously, on an interest rate pullback, a normal stock that trades with the industry and with interest rates, the thing, with how it's supposed to trade, it's supposed to sell off. It's supposed to sell off. In fact, let's look at some of those home builders, the most popular being Hovonian, HOV. As you can see here, HOV. And I mean, this has been basically capitulation since the announcement by the Fed of interest rates increases. You had a green day today. Which is interesting. The stock's oversold. HOV is oversold. One of the largest home builders, big in many of these highly developing or states where populations are really increasing. You know, the South, Tennessee, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, kind of those kind of areas. They are out there in California as well as the Northeast as well. But again, big time luxury home builder. Company took a hit back in the tax days as well. This was the tax situation when they came out and said the deduction for $1 million homes was going to be taken out of the tax plan. I think that ended up getting put back in. Because the rich always get what they want. So that ended up hurting the company for a slight period of time, but it got put back in. But again, interest rates are going to always hurt when it talks about real estate investments and real estate-based companies. So green day for that stock. Let's see whether or not you have a continuation of that bullish momentum, or was this just a one-trick, bag pony? So we'll see HOV if that situation turns around. All right, if that situation turns around. Do I teach classes? No, I don't teach any. I don't teach any classes. Okay, all right. I am a gay bodybuilder. Okay, all right. What else do we have in here? AWGI. 0003. Yeah, again, this is just we just pulled up a few tickers that are like this, right? I mean, 000 stocks. You just gonna have to be patient, man. You're just gonna have to be a little bit patient and wait your time. Wait your time. Eventually, that happens. Eventually, that happens where they come out of these lower levels. But again, the company's got to retire some debt, and you got to be patient. All right, but this could be a big bag for you. It can be a big bag. It can be a big bag. Thank you, Dr. Butterfly. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've taught a class once. When I was living in Durham, North Carolina, which wasn't too long ago. There's a community center out there in Durham. Durham was one of the original Black Wall Streets. You had black slave owners and stuff like that way back when, black insurance companies, whatever, blah blah blah. So I was living in I had moved to Durham just to kind of soak up the energy of the city and that generational wealth that's still there. So I tried to hold a seminar, trading stocks 1, 2, 3 kind of thing, and only 3 people showed up. I had a great class, bomb-ass class, so I was able to get into detail and stuff like that, so it was really fun educating the people that came. But I visited churches, I went to Goodwills, I stood in front of like the little food lines, I had out flyers, and I know I had to give flyers to at least 500 people. But, when the community doesn't want the knowledge, I mean, what can you do? You're trying to give the knowledge and the community doesn't want it. I can't waste my time. So I'm here on YouTube. All right, let's keep it going. All right. BKD, Brookdale Senior Living. Brookdale Senior Living. I didn't even know. This is one of those companies that makes commercials and stuff, right? And I've always it's always kind of tricked me out because Brookdale Senior Living, they go along with another ticker called GEN. They're not the same company, but similar businesses. Genesis Healthcare. Genesis Healthcare used to be one of my favorite companies, but they're also into that long-term healthcare space. And I don't understand what's going on with these companies where they're not making money in a time where we've got, an aging population, right? These baby boomers are getting older. They're going into that yet, so I don't know if we got a population out there, but not the most. I mean, most of them are in their late 60s. Moving, late 50s, early 60s. So, maybe till 10 years away from where we can say we're really going to have like a senior living, crisis. where we'll have a significant amount of population that is senior citizens. So I guess these companies are still, relatively early in that phase. But again, 2 stocks to watch: Brookdale Senior Living as well as Genesis Healthcare. But I don't know if these companies are going to survive by then. I don't know if they're going to be hanging around. We've seen these companies come and go. What about GoPro? Man, disappointing numbers on GoPro. Very disappointing numbers on GoPro. Hey, I am gay bodybuilder. I'm being really respectful, bro. I'm trying to be really respectful. You've already acknowledged yourself as a homosexual, and I'm not. I'm just being respectful, bro, and I'm keeping, what I want to say to myself. All right, so please be respectful in my chat room, man. He keeps alluding to, sexual acts in the chat room, and you're over here harassing us, bro. All right. Bat Scientist putting his list in the chat room. That's a good list too, Bats. That's a good list. To see, it's OTC heavy. UPZS, that's the pizza company too. Yeah, man, I'm being respectful because a lot of those times they want to trigger you. You know what I mean? They know what's up with that stuff. They just trying to trigger you so I can say something or Cord Blood. We talked about this for the last 2 days. I still don't understand why this is running. This could be, again, it's a Chinese company. We know what the Chinese are all about. We know, they're all about rigging the game. And Chinese Cord Blood, it's like so many other Chinese companies we've seen here come and go. So it looks like they're running game over there on Chinese Cord Blood Corporation. This could very well go higher, man. If you got the money to take a risk, I mean, it's not a cheap stock, $10.73 a share. But again, looking at the trend here, he had a decent April to July or April to August. But looks like it's trying to do something here again. But again, look at the financials, quick look at it. The company, I don't know if these are accurate numbers or whatnot. They're actually showing pretty decent assets. Is that $5 billion? I got $1 billion market cap. Trading at 26 times earnings. Again, Chinese companies, I'm so iffy about it because their financials are so different from what we do. Their financials are so different, Yeah, I'm being real nice, man. I'm being real nice, to this dude. He's in there, making sexual innuendos or whatever that word is. Where are my mods at? Let me mod some people up in here. Callie, Rob, Londale, you've been around for a minute, bro. All right. I know Bats is one. Thriller Ali. What's going on, Thriller, bro? All right. What's going on, Callie? Yeah. Let me get that clown up out of here, man. I can't find him right now. I got a show to run. All right, so let's keep it going. So okay, let me get my construction stocks out the way. Now, one thing you need to learn about construction stocks, because I want to bring this. There's so many of them, but I want to kind of get in front of Trump and his infrastructure conversation that we're going to be having, and maybe a week or two, or in a couple weeks for sure, because we got another fight right now to keep the government from shutting down. So infrastructure is on the table, and I think that's his only play. The Democrats are going to try to play the whole dreamer thing, which is a losing battle for them. I don't know why they're doing that. These people aren't smart. I mean, but I just don't understand. So he's gonna put infrastructure on the table. He wants the money for the wall. That again too. That's not the brightest thing in the world, but again, that's government for you. And somebody's going to win. Somebody's going to win. And I think the president's going to win. And he's going to get his way. And then you're going to have a significant amount of money, which could be what he's asking for, which is nearly wasn't he asking for $1 trillion? Let me verify. I think he was asking for $1 trillion, right? $1 trillion infrastructure bill. Wasn't he asking for $1 trillion? Yes. Yep. That it is. That's the article. Trump calls for $1.5 trillion infrastructure investment. Yes, I read that 2 days ago. This is the article here on CNBC. You can Google it. Let me put it in the chat room for those of you guys. Yes, he's asking for $1 trillion. So I want to get in front of the conversation here about infrastructure, discuss a few tickers. I mean, we can spend all night about it. There are many companies. I want to talk about just a few, just to kind of open the conversation about it. One thing you need to know about construction that I've been learning about the business is that the construction business is a very expensive business. Not, you can't just decide to go into construction. It's a business that requires a significant amount of capital, significant amount of experience, and it's a business that requires, again, like a lot of capital, but it requires you to be heavily leveraged. It requires to be heavily leveraged. And it's a very lucrative business because, labor is incredibly expensive. Work is what you pay for. Guys who are good are very expensive, and guys who aren't good aren't very expensive. And you get shoddy work. So the construction companies that do really, really well pay their workers really, really well, and they have one of the best trained workforces out there. So let's talk about a few of them. And again, this is not a definite list. It's just a few stocks that I want to discuss. And these are, unfortunately, as I said, the construction business is very lucrative. It's very expensive. So the stocks aren't cheap. The stocks aren't cheap. All right? The stocks are not cheap. And because it's so profitable, because it requires a lot of debt, it requires a lot of capital, the stocks also tend to be relatively low float. They tend to be relatively low float, so they're not, very rarely are you going to find a construction company with 2-3 billion shares. They also, too many times, aren't incredibly, they don't have insane amount of volume. They don't have insane amount of volume because they tend to be seasonal or run on certain catalysts that kind of come and go, like a construction bill. All right. One ticker I got on the screen right now is a company called Fix. Or Comfort Systems. They are a provider of mechanical contracting services, which includes primarily heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. They are available in 84 cities and 94 locations throughout the United States, specifically mostly municipalities, contracting with them on a range of construction, renovation, expansion, maintenance, repair, and replacement services regarding all kind of commercial, industrial, as well as institutional properties. So a lot of your middle schools, your high schools, your local hospitals, they're bidding all across the country on contracts revolving those kind of things. So I don't doubt that when that money is doled out, a company like Fix is probably in line to get some of that money. A company that I want to talk about next with some retail aspect to it, but also very much a commercial side of the business. Taking a hit right now because, again, we talked about rising interest rates. Lumber Liquidators. $27 stock. Again, taking an L right now, but again, when that conversation comes back around, Lumber Liquidators has got to be there. It's your one-stop shop for lumber, of course, wood, and many other type of products for the construction, commercial, and retail side of construction. So Lumber Liquidators has got to be in that conversation. All right, the ticker that we brought up yesterday, USG construction materials as well. This is a company that's more of a distributor of building materials. So they have products that they sell under different kind of names. If you're in the construction business, you've already seen this name before, USG. They've got an incredible line of products. I mean, from everywhere from cement to all kinds of things. I mean, so a wide range of products that are on use on construction sites all over the country in different fields as well. USG is that ticker. All right. Another play with a lot of regional as well as local exposure, GVA. GVA, Granite Construction. Granite Construction. Now, Granite Construction is a heavy civil contractor and construction materials producer. The company operates in 3 segments, which is construction, large project construction, and construction materials. The company operates across the country, serving both public, private sector clients. Within the public sector, it concentrates on heavy civil infrastructure projects, including construction of streets, roads, highways, mass transit facilities, airport infrastructure, bridges, underground utilities, power-related facilities, water and waste facilities, and tunnels, dams, and other infrastructure-related projects. So GVA, another stock that, again, when that money gets doled out, you're going to want to take a look at this stock. All right. Another name that you're probably familiar with, JCI, Johnson Controls. Johnson Controls, kind of another company that is kind of, it's a multi-industrial type of play. So it's got anywhere from your small-time commercial all the way to your large manufacturing kind of exposure. It's a global company. It is really a kind of global diversified technology play. But again, that's another company that is going to be in that conversation. And you're going to see turnaround here once that becomes a little bit more of a serious conversation. Decent volume actually on this one as well too. All right, decent volume on that too. Another ticker, CX, CEMEX. I'm not a big fan of ADRs, but here's the thing about this one. Incredible volume. I mean, this is trading, nearly 5-6 million per day. So this has got really, really good buying. What I like about this company is that, again, this is another one that's got a few subsidiaries, but they're primarily in the business of the production, distribution, and sale of cement, ready-mix concrete, as well as other construction materials throughout the world. This company provides construction-related services as well to customers and communities in over 50 countries throughout the world. All right, ticker is CX. $8 stock, by the way. That's why I'm bringing this up. This is one of those rare opportunities. It's a $12 billion company trading at $8 a share. And by the way, it's only trading at 14 times earnings. 14 times earnings. When you start talking about money being doled out, 14 times earnings, $8 a share, this stock could fly. So that's why I'm putting it up on here. Ticker is CX. PPG Industries. If you live in a town with a growing population, you should already know of PPG, rival to Sherwin-Williams. PPG, larger company than Sherwin-Williams. PPG, more of a global, has global exposure. Also has exposure to glass as well. By the way, that's the name of it, Pittsburgh Paint and Glass, PPG. So also large in the manufacturing space as well, where you have a lot of opportunities there where it has exposure to car development, where a lot of your glass on your car is probably made by PPG. Pittsburgh Paint and Glass. All right. Take a look at that company. Just a few more. We'll get back to it. Fastenal. You should already know what Fastenal is. Fastenal, basically like the AutoZone for commercial goods, or construction goods. Fastenal, ticker FAST. Fastenal, retail outlet, Fastenal, FAST. Kind of like Lumber Liquidators, except they don't sell wood. They don't sell wood that I know of. I don't believe they sell wood. If they do, let me know. But again, I don't know of them selling wood. All right. Now, you said, Sal, okay, I don't want to pick an individual company. Can you get me in a situation where it's more broad? So you're talking ETF. Yes, I've got ETF. There is an ETF for that. Here's the thing. There are not many construction ETFs. All right, there are not many construction ETFs. But let's go over the few that are available. PKB, nice rally, $34 a share. Power Shares Dynamic Build and Construction ETF. Right now, again, selling off due to higher interest rates. PKB is the ticker. Power Shares is the brand. By the way, Power Shares, the same company behind the $61 billion fund called QQQ. You're very familiar with that one. That's the brand behind PKB as well. All right? That's if you want to play it on a larger scale without single stock risk. PAV, one more to go. PAV, Global X Funds U.S. Infrastructure Development ETF. It's had a solid run since the summer, going to September. Not a lot of volume, only 144,000 shares traded today at least, but it's a $17 ETF. It's a $17 ETF. Here's the thing, Myron on CX. I found out it's got exposure to Mexico, but it's not a Mexican company. You see what I'm saying? It's got exposure to Mexico, but it's not a Mexican company. So I was wrong on that. I had to learn a little bit more about the company. But PAVE is the ticker, PAVE, U.S. Infrastructure Development, ETF, PAVE, $17.32 a share. All right. FLM, this is another one, very, very light on the volume, $62 a share. It's a little bit light. So again, this is one that I might be stretching it, putting it out there, but I kind of have to put it out there because I want to say I put it out there when nobody was trading it. Only about 3,000 shares again traded daily today anyway for that ETF. But as you can see here, it's been a solid buy and hold. It's been a solid buy and hold, putting on about $22 a share since March of 2016. So definitely one of those stocks that buy and hold. And by the way, this is a stock that offers you, as the name of the ETF says, global exposure. So global engineering and construction ETF. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Those are my tickers for construction. Obviously, when the conversation starts developing, we'll bring up more names. I see some people brought in Home Depot and some of those other ones that are kind of common sense plays. I wanted to put some names out there that you otherwise probably wouldn't immediately look up. But yes, we'll definitely be ready for that turnaround situation because I know I'm definitely watching. I got alerts set up on most of these stocks we just talked about because when we start seeing volume come back into those stocks on the buy side, I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of that. All right. No, Joe, you just missed it. I went through several shares, several single stock companies in construction as well. All right. So let's get back to your tickers before we wrap up this show. Again, I had some callers call in. I did miss you when I was going through my tickers here. So if you want to call back, you know the number, 305-600-2896. Said somebody bring up URG, which is a uranium Canadian based play. URG, again, that's another one, very light on volume. As you can see here, it's all over the place. Very wide ranges when you have very low volume like that, and inconsistent wide bid and ask spreads from buyers and sellers because there's so few of them. Only 75,000 shares traded here. All right. BOTZ, yeah, we talk about bots here quite regularly. That's the Global Exchange Robotics, Artificial Intelligence. That's another one that, again, I'm telling you right now, this is a stock that's going to 50. As long as we don't have an international pullback on, market worldwide, BOTZ should go to 50. 409, you're on the air. What's up?
Coming at you live from Texas.
Hey, going on. Appreciate you. How are you on the show?
Third time caller. I did good on AMD. I loaded the wagon up, remember?
Yes. Okay, yeah, you're the caller. Stock pulled back a little bit today from a little bit of profit taking. Are you?
Right. I sold.
Yeah, you said you sold. Okay.
So.
Are you looking to go back in anytime soon, or you're kind of done with this one?
No, I'll go back in, but I moved over to the trend stock of the day was AKER. I moved in on it. It was a super penny stock, but it moved up over 30-something%. Mm-hmm. And I got into it when it was moving up about 15%, rode it up to 31%, cashed out. Moved into Viking Therapeutics again, bought some more shares because it took a little dip, and then it ran up after hours. So I'm up. I'm killing them.
Yeah, VK. What's the ticker that VKPR?
No, Viking Therapeutics is VKTX.
VKTX. There it is, Viking Therapeutics. Yeah, okay, yeah, I do
I'm
remember
dude.
Bringing that up yesterday. VKTX. I was really impressed with that trend. A nice volume today, although no gain on the play, so a little bit of fighting there from buyers and sellers. But that's right. still a good sign though, because obviously there's still a lot of guys who want this stock.
Yeah, it shot up in the after hours, so I'm in the positive right now. So
excellent.
But that AKER, and I know a caller called in earlier. You guys were talking about it. I don't know if you guys noticed, but it did a reverse split a couple of months ago. That's what happened.
Okay. So you're saying that this window wasn't created by necessarily any bad news. It's just they just took some. Let me see here, some float off the table.
I don't know about all that.
Okay.
I don't know about any of that. I just know it took a reverse split. I've been watching it a few months now.
Okay.
So it's trending back up. It's going to go back up. Obviously, there's a lot of volume. There's like over 20-something million. Average volume was 2 million. So.
Okay.
Pretty wild.
Yeah, I'm guessing with that, the float's got to be pretty light as well as on AKER. Do you have an idea what the float is on that? I don't see it here.
No, sir. And then the second one I bought was BPMX. It shot up over 42%. I got into it when it was around 30% up. So I'm up 12% on that one.
All right. BPMX. BPMX.
And this is daily gains. I'm trying to do this a week, and it's just running up right now.
Oh, absolutely. The market's going crazy. By the way, AKER is showing a float of only 6 million. God dang, that's low as hell. Yeah, go ahead and verify if that's right, ladies and gentlemen, in the chat room. But I'm seeing a float of only 6 million shares of AKER. So that could be a runner if they put out some great news. But nice run on BPMX, though. That's a solid day of buying here. Incredible volume coming into that stock today. 52 million shares traded today.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, BPMX. Here's another one that I probably have no doubt has a low float as well. Only 49 million shares floating right now. So obviously it turned over its float today. BPMX, nice move.
And I don't know if you guys have talked about Nokia yet, but they did their earnings report. And I'm in a chat group with all my buddies, and we all talk stocks and stuff. And they all try to get me to buy Nokia. It shot up 15%, man. I was going to do it. I really was.
Yeah, and Nokia, which is really interesting. Nokia is a small, obviously it used to be a significantly more expensive when it was a larger player in the cell phone business, but still alive and kicking. And
good earnings.
Right, good earnings today. Looking here on this news, and nice move. Wow, that's actually a nice move up after hours to 545 on the ask right now after hours. So nice move there on NOK.
Here's the bad news, though. So, I do a lot of my trading on Robinhood because I get murdered on the fees because I like to trade quick. And then so they label you as a day trader, after 4 day trades in a 5-day period. You get locked out and have to have, I think, 60,000 in your account.
Yep, 25,000 a trade without a PDT rule.
Right. So I'll just heads up to anybody out there using Robinhood.
There it
I'm
is.
sure people know that, but there's money to be made on there just for, heads up.
Absolutely, absolutely. Appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much for the call, man.
God bless.
Yes, indeed. So shout out to his call on that. I like his BPMX play. I like that BPMX and that AKER. I wasn't aware that AKER float was that small. You still filled the gap though. So that tells me that unless we get some kind of powerful news to overwhelm the idea that people believe it should go higher, that it shouldn't go higher because of that gap fill, then it could very well sell off tomorrow. All right. He said change your Robinhood to cash to get past the PDT. But here's the thing, though. I mean, without margin, Cali Rob, wouldn't you have to wait till each trade settles? And settlement isn't instantaneously, right? So, I mean, you would still technically have to only be able to, unless you have a shitload of cash, you would still have to wait till the cash is in your account to move into another trade. Yeah, Mitch, 3 days. So you might as well just have a margin. You'll need to have extra cash after the settle. Right. So let's say if you made a $400 trade, it wouldn't matter if you have like a $5,000 account. You just do whatever. But if you've got a $5,000 account, you make a $4,800 trade, and now you sell, right? You want to make another $4,000 trade. There's no margin there, right? There's no cover for the next trade. You've got to actually wait till that money is back into your account, verified by your broker, and then go into another trade. Exactly, Mitch. Basically what you just said. You can't trade all in each trade. Exactly. Yeah, that's why cash accounts don't make sense for me. I mean, you might as well just PDT can protect you, man. I look at it as protection. I don't like it either. I think it favors the rich, but as a young trader, if you're a beginner, it can be considered protection. But I mean, if you're a guy who already knows kind of what you're doing, it can be a bit frustrating. It can be very frustrating when you miss out on great trades because you can't take advantage of the move. So your goal should be to find a way to get beyond that. So either, a year or two ago, guys were going to Sure Trader. I think that conversation has stopped now after guys have realized how much in fees that they eat out. So now it's about, look, just, make great trades and work to a point where you can get above 25,000. As much as you hate living under the PDT rule, just work your ass off, man. Just work your ass off. Focus on the trade, focus on the execution and not the money. All right? So you only have 200% to trade, $200. Yeah, absolutely right, Joe. Yeah. Tasty Works, you can short the same day. You can short without margin? I didn't even know you could short without margin. Are you sure you can short without margin? I've always believed shorting requires margin. Yeah, get multiple accounts. Oh, thank you, Georgia General. I forgot completely about that. Yeah, easily get multiple. The thing about multiple accounts, though, the money thing, having to split up the money, but that multiple account thing works too. I mean, TD, Fidelity, and then E-Trade, or you can go TD, Fidelity, E-Trade, and Charles Schwab. You can go 4 in a row if you want to. All right. You can go 4 in a row if you want to. What's the PDT rule? Basically, an arcane rule that prevents guys from trading too much. Yeah, I don't think you can short without margin. I don't think you can short without margin. All right, because you're borrowing. It requires you to borrow, and they're not going to borrow through a cash account. What's the problem with SureTrader? The fees, bro. I mean, the fees tear up your account. Some guys don't care. I mean, some guys don't give a fuck. But, I mean, SureTrader fees, man, they're just insane. It's just insane. Am I still messing with Ustock trade? No. I mean, I was just kind of dabbling with them, just trying out the product. Just trying out the product. But hold on, Ustock trade, it's no PDT. Well, is it no PDT rule? But it's a funny trading system though. It's kind of a funny trading system. How much are SureTrader fees? Too much. They nickel and dime you for goddamn everything. It's not even worth trying. 772, you're in the air. What's up?
What's happening, Sal? What's happening?
Hey, what's up with your SureTrader? Gosh, what am I talking about? Treasure Hunter, man. What's up, bro?
Not a problem, man. Not a problem. Let me see. We talked, what about yesterday, about ALKM was going to take a little breather.
Yeah, ALKM, and did exactly what I said it was going to do. It sold off. Nice. It sold off, ALKM. And again, you could kind of predict that thing when you saw the candlestick. Again, when you have a candlestick that's got significant amount of shadow up top, where you've got indecision from buyers, indecision from sellers, eventually somebody's going to lose, and more than likely it's going to be buyers, and selling pressure is going to overwhelm. And you see here it sell off. ALKM selling off here. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah,
that's quite a hit though. I mean, lost 18% today, quite a bit.
Yeah. We'll see what it does. We'll see what it does. If anything, it'd be one of my campers, since my other camper play is finally waking up again. I don't know for how long. JBZY.
Yeah, JBZY, formerly called DOLV, the battery company, Chinese battery company. I mean, nice day today. Stock was up 20%. If I look at, a stock like this, you kind of want to look at the weekly. It still looks relatively bearish here on the weekly, but I mean, solid couple 3 weeks, right? So something is developing in there, coming from those lows at nearly a penny. The stock's up over 100% in 3 weeks. JBZY. So something is developing here. You can see on the weekly, coming to a lower time frame, the daily chart. As you can see here, we can kind of zoom in, going back 3 weeks to 111. So yeah, something is developing here. It's a slow trend moving higher, but you are seeing an increase in volume slowly coming back into JBZY. So you might be onto something there.
So what I'm on to something I call your show, bro. Way before it pop off. You you go way back.
Absolutely.
Talking about from the early videos. And let me see. I had to do it. I could not resist myself. It was like a little kid stealing candy. I told you what I was going to do yesterday about that DRWN, getting for the Lolo. I got it for the Lolo and making a profit on them. But the thing is, I don't know how long he's going to run, but I, just had to do it, the DRWN.
Yeah, we pulled that ticker up earlier in the show, and
oh, did you?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And again, this one, you had some buyers take some profits here. We'll see what happens tomorrow. But you need volume tomorrow. You need guys who are going to want to buy these lows and take it higher, because if you get another group of sellers like that, you're going to be right back below 0010 if you're not careful here.
Mhm. And let's see, still up on the other ones too. The ADVT.
Yeah, Advantis. The situation was what was that? Advantis. So it's kind of growing into a wedge here. You see, you almost got a wedge pattern starting up here. So you might want to be careful on that. Some people can say that's a good thing when you talk about these little wedges that kind of start up here. and it's not the greatest line in the world, but when we talk about these wedges that could develop here, so you might want to see if it stays in that box and then maybe pop higher, or hopefully not crash lower, but you want to see it stay in this box. So your floor is 6 cents, 0.0604. If you fall below that, then you're gonna have a different conversation with yourself. But this could be a nice little flag that's setting up here.
And let me see, the ANDI still doing pretty good on him also.
Yeah, that's another one, Ken. You guys put up some similar tickers here. It's another situation though. This is really nice because this is a nice candlestick. This is
we understand, I tell you.
Yeah. This is a nice candlestick for the day. I mean, it's showing conviction from buyers buying near the high. They're willing to buy, the dips, and so that's a nice candlestick for that stock. You needed to see that today, and you got to again maintain that 3 cent level.
Well, you know me. I'm a day trader, so I got these guys I've been holding for a little minute, as you know. From the other videos. So one goes down, I make a profit on the other one. So, what I'm saying? Or basically, I'm in the green on all. Speaking of green and all, what's up with our Odie Goldie? I'm still on that one, the SSOF.
SSOF, let's take a look at it.
Yeah.
No,
he did pretty good today, I mean.
Let me see, SSOF. Wow, actually, that nice move there. Where's the volume? Let me see here, 66 ounces, banner year. All right, so I mean, this is I've talked about SSOF. This is a real company. This is they're really doing things. Nice that they put the news out that brought in some new money into the stock. Guys on OTC looking for something to believe in, but again, I hate these ranges. I hate
we just make some money and stuff like that.
Yeah, I hate the candlestick. I don't like the candlestick, but again, overall, again, nice day for the stock, up 36%. But as you can see, it got significantly higher, but you couldn't get a commitment up top.
Yeah, man. Well, we'll see what they do because they've been running for a little minute. And we'll see what Friday, because, Friday everybody like to cash out, get some beer money and stuff like that, and buy back in Monday. Or who knows, they might hold over the weekend, But those are plays I'm in now and, make a little profit and, here to let you guys know. And, Sal, you have an awesome show. Keep up the great work, brother.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate the call, man.
You got it, man. Anytime.
Yes, indeed. Treasure Hunter on the call. Appreciate it. Very risky trades, man. Every trade, I mean, besides the ones that were, of course, had great volume, but some of them are risky as fuck. Risky as fuck. But, I mean, he's bringing them up, and, he's getting solid moves in them. Solid moves in them, especially if he's been in them for the last couple days in those plays, because, intraday wise, they're very unsettling stocks to trade. I mean, if you look at intraday, this is the intraday on SSOF, and I'm looking at gaps and I'm looking at wide ranges. I mean, this is a horrible intraday chart. I mean, this is something that, you really got to want to be in this over the course of several days. I mean, this is one of those stocks where you buy it and you kind of have to forget about it for a week or two, because these are not intraday stocks. These are not stocks you can day trade, because the bid and ask spreads aren't favorable, and it doesn't make sense to. It doesn't make sense to. All right? It doesn't make sense to. VPOR, let's take a look at Vapor Group. VPOR, looks like it's been a loser since December. Let's take a look at weekly. Yeah, VPOR, I'm not liking it, man. I'm not seeing on, kind of on these stocks that have these ugly, you want to pull back. You don't want to necessarily, take the daily as the be all end all. You kind of want to see what it's been going on a weekly, and then kind of work in backwards, right? And it had a nice day today. I mean, you had the 22% gain today. Let's go to a little bit shorter time frame. Let's see the hourly. Yeah, see, and it's even on the hourly. even on the hourly, I'm not ready to call it a buy yet. Okay, I mean, if you're in here, you better pray this doesn't make a new low. You got to pray this doesn't make a new low. But I'm not a fan of buying stocks making lower lows. You know, I'm not a fan of buying stocks making lower lows. And, you know, this is very much on track to do that. The candlestick isn't enough for me to say it could be the beginning of something. Of course, I love the fact that, you know, it doesn't have a shadow at the top, but you got fooled out here. You know, this is very much a bullish engulfing signal. This looks like this is supposed to turn around, but you can see the very next candlestick, very similar to this one, but this one had, you know, a lack of commitment from buyers. So it looks like it sold at the bottom, where this one had a commitment to the top. But similar candlesticks here. So you need another day. You need another day building on top of this that doesn't go below 0010. If this goes below 0010 tomorrow, which is literally 0.00001 from where you closed, then you're talking about creating a new low. All right. Oh man, I feel sorry for you if you're in Bitcoin, man. It's been embarrassing just to see where Bitcoin is now. It's been embarrassing. I mean, this is horrible. 86.57. And I'm still seeing guys on Twitter talk about, hold on for dear life. Hold on for dear life. Are you kidding me? This thing is going to 1,000, bro. This thing is probably going to 1,000. And you're telling guys to hold. There was a tweet that I responded to on Twitter, and I was like, man, please just stop. Because he made the comment, he said, oh, wow, Bitcoin is hitting 9,500. Isn't it good to know that 2 weeks from now, we're going to see this as a buying opportunity? I said, please stop, bro. Just stop. He had like 400 likes on that comment, because guys are so... You know, they've so blinded themselves to the reality of what this really is. You know? And there's a great chart. I forgot what the name of it is. But do I still have that book somewhere around here? Yeah, I still have this book. It's a great book that I like to read. Let me see here. Hold on. Got it on the floor here. Hold on. All right, so this is a great book that I like to read here on the show, and it's called, let me see here, A Short History, Financial Euphoria. All right, let me see if I can. A Short History, Financial Euphoria. All right. God damn. Financial Genius Before the Fall. Financial Genius. I got it for 25 cents. A short history of financial euphoria. Financial Genius is Before the Fall. So this book basically explains tulip mania and many of the other manias that happened in the financial sector before they all came crashing down. And they're all the same. They're all the same. And basically, it goes through. All right, let me read the back of the book. From A Short History of Financial Euphoria. Only after the speculative collapse does the truth emerge. What was thought to be an unusual acuity turns out to be only a fortuitous and unfortunate association with the assets. Over the years of history, the results for those who have been thus misjudged, including invariably by themselves, has been this book uses opprobrium, followed by personal disgrace or a retreat into the deeper folds of obscurity. Or it has been exile, suicide, or in modern times at least moderately uncomfortable confinement. All right? So Talks about all the incredible runs that kind of happened. It's a really, really great book. You can pick it up on Amazon. Last time I checked, it was really dirt cheap. I got mine at a Goodwill. It talks about, the tulip mania. As you can see here, it goes into the tulip mania here, the tulip bowls that used to sell for the equivalent of $20,000 right now, where guys would literally pick this up in their farm and they would get the equivalent of $20,000 in today's money for tulips that used to decay. It talks about certain railroad companies and whatever. And it also talked about how, during these times, what happens is that you're introduced to new individuals who just kind of come out of nowhere. And they're seen as gurus, as gods of this new financial instrument, because they are seen as the only people who can rightfully discuss this ongoing thing. And that's why the subheading "Financial Genius" is before the fall. All right, so great book, and I think a new book has to be created with the addition of Bitcoin in that, because that's basically what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. And there you go. Here's the chapter on. That's the chapter on the bubble. I don't know if can I see that? Can I show that in there? The bubble. This is chapter 4. How the bubble starts and how it all plays itself out. It's all there. And how there's a tradition in America of bubbles. In America, there's a tradition of these bubbles happening over and over and over and over and over and over again. I should have talked about this a lot more, on the show. But you can go back to 1920. You can go back as far as 1066, where it was certain rocks. 1066, 1914, 1929, 1945. Many other micro bubbles, including technology in the 1950s with circuit boards and many other bubbles. All right, let's keep it going before we go ahead and end the show here. Damn, I feel like my show goes so damn fast. It's been an hour and a half already. All right, so a couple tickers and we'll end the show. All right, we'll let Bad Scientist do it. Bats, what's up, man?
Hey Sal, how you doing today?
Doing good. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I've got a few options plays for you. Long call options. Let's get into those quickly. This one I really love. This is my bread and butter stock, Chesapeake CHK.
Mm-hmm.
At the $3.50 support.
CHK natural gas. I mean, natural gas prices are going lower. You don't feel any hesitation of that?
Not really. Nah, this one has done me well in the past at $3.50. I mean, obviously we do see the downtrend, but I like the hammer that's forming right there, close to $3.50. So I'm bullish on this one actually.
Nice price, CHK.
You could wait alternatively. I mean, we talked about the China Commodity Index. Right now it's sitting at, let me see here, minus 276. You could wait for it to come round to minus 100, but then you might lose, a lot of gains there while you wait for that. So, $3.50 will be a good price, I think so. So keep a watch on that one. Next one is a South African gold company, SBGL. SBGL.
F, you said that's F?
S is in Samantha.
SGBL?
Sorry, SBGL.
I don't have it. S like Sam, right?
Sam, brother, girl, lion.
Oh, I was in the wrong category. There it is. OTC stock?
Should be NASDAQ.
BGL.
SB.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay. Sinbaye. Okay, all right. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Correct.
It's an
And
ADR.
this one's forming my lovely bullish belt hold, which I really love. Low RSI bullish belt hold. This one, is down where it's been, occasionally, in the 450s, 470s. So, I would be looking to trade this one back up to about 550.
Okay, yeah, this one, just kind of like CHK. I see what you're looking for here. Kind of, low downside risk, bounce up for support. My only fear, obviously I would have loved the second, these second ones where, you could look at these and be like, oh, wow, this is a what's the word for this setup? I want to call it a double bottom.
Yes,
So,
correct.
but,
yeah.
that this is the third time going, I mean, I could see where you're going with that trade. Nice move, SPGL.
Yeah, that's exactly SPGL. AKS, you mentioned, the steel company. I've traded this one before. This is looking good, but, we need to look for the reversal because it's had, how many red days has it had? It's still downtrending, but it does have that spinning top.
Yeah, I like that candlestick for today as a move on AKS. It's very disappointing since the earnings, but I like the candlestick from today because the selling got weak. So let's see if tomorrow the selling is truly out the stock. Obviously, the stock's lost nearly $1.60 in value over the last 3 days, so that's quite a bit for a small cap stock as it is. But that's a nice candlestick for the turnaround. You want to see that doji.
I agree.
Yeah.
And this one's good. I mean, I agree with you. I'm bullish on this one. So let's see what tomorrow brings. If it maybe brings in another spinning top and it's staying at that same level, I wouldn't hesitate
Absolutely
to get into that. QEP.
Okay, QEP Resources. Zoom out of this a little bit. Okay, here's another one that was bearish. You got the doji candlestick followed up by another more bullish momentum. So, yeah, nice run in that one, too, as well.
And this one I like as well because it's bouncing off the 200 simple moving average.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Nicely. Yeah, put that back on. Okay, that's a nice move.
Very good. And then the one that you might not like, but I like where it's going. It's still on a downtrend. GES.
Ooh.
Right now it's at 1511, but there's the 200 that's at about 1460.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of Guess right now. What's her name? Yeah, I'm sure you read the news on Kate Upton. Kate Upton came out.
Right.
She said that one of the guys behind Guess molested her or whatever. But here's the thing, though. I like the idea. You know what? Actually, it makes sense because it's very much like a win situation where it's personality driven and it's not necessarily fundamentally driven. So that I see where you're going with that. It's about the guy behind the biz, not even necessarily the guy behind the business, but the guy who's just the name of the business or behind the business, and it's nothing is wrong with the company. Nothing is fundamentally wrong with the company, and investors are overreacting here. I see where your head is at on this trade as well.
And of course, you mentioned the win, so we won't mention that one. That looks, I'm very bullish on that one.
Yes.
Last one is Eli Lilly Pharmaceutical Company, LLY. LLY.
LLY. Oh, nice move on that. Why did Lilly sell off from earnings? I know the numbers weren't the greatest, right?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm just responding to the chart. The chart is just looking really good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, for one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world, this is a beautiful chart. Obviously, though, Trump's speech, Trump's speech was that the day before yesterday or was that yesterday? I think it was the day before yesterday, right?
Day before,
so Trump's speech may have had something to do with that. Obviously, any kind of attack on, lowering pharmaceutical prices is going to have, an effect on the largest drug maker. Now, the right thing to do is to get these pharmaceuticals, costs a lot lower. But I do understand that America and the fact that we pay more for our drugs is why these drugs kind of come to market, and why, people in the third world pay a lot less because we pay more. So I can see the give and take, but we'll see how this, legislation moves forward.
Yeah, and I did mention airlines 3 or 4 days ago, and they had 3 green days in a row, most of them. So that would have been a good opportunity to get in when I did mention about the airline industry. I think it was 3 days ago. So.
Yeah, I saw American Airlines. That one, a little bit of hesitation on that too, but that's got a gap to clear up there. American Airlines, if I think Boeing, nice day today on Boeing. After earnings, that did really well too. That's kind of fighting to stay up there after earnings. And a couple
Delta had a good 3 days. Today it kind of formed a spinning top, but yesterday, the day before yesterday, and the day before that had a solid 3 days bouncing off of the 50 moving average. And that's really what you want to look at. You want to see candlestick patterns forming on important moving averages. If you see a reversal happening on a major moving average, that's a very good sign.
Okay.
So you see how Delta on the 50 it came down and bounced off it, and then it had 3 nice days.
Yeah, not bad on Delta Airlines. Not a big fan of the airline companies, but obviously, yeah, when they're oversold, I could see the, the short term, play to move them back up to the upside.
Cool. Yeah, that's all I have for you tonight, Sal. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bats. Appreciate you, bro.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Shout out to Bat Scientist for the call. Always a great call. Always great tickers. Always a great call. Great tickers. But let me get to you guys in the chat room. And then I promise I'll get you out of here. I'm going to get you out of here. All right? Let's get to yours in the chat room. I want to just get some guys in the chat room. I know I had a little monologue to do, so we took some time away from that. So let's take a look at yours in the chat room real quick. I did see somebody earlier bring up USAU or something like that. US Gold Corp. USAU looks like a relatively new ticker. I don't see any history before July. up 3% today, 263. Small cap stock, only $32 million market cap. It's got a really good volatility to it though. Up nearly over $1.20 since December 1st. So nice move in that one. You're struggling a little bit when it comes to volume. NCMI, National Cinemas, not a big fan of the movies. Guys are streaming now. Movie attendance is down, so it's not a buy and hold. But short term going into the summer, I like it. You got some really great Marvel movies coming out this year. So short term, I like the movie theaters. You got Black Panther. You got Infinity War. You got some few other great ones coming out this year too. So going into the summer, I can see where this makes sense. It's going to be an awesome movie summer this year. If this is that kind of play. Is that kind of play though? Let me before I speak too much. Is that kind of play, or are we talking about let me see here. Or is this an outdoor marketing company? Because I'm reading something about outdoor marketing. This is an outdoor marketing company? Or I might be confused here or something like that. I might have this confused with a different ticker. NCMI. If it's not a movie play, just take everything I said back. But if it's an outdoor media company, that's bullshit. Because AMC, I like AMC, but if this is an outdoor media company, it's bullcrap, because outdoor media is basically non-existent. Because if you're a passenger in a vehicle today, you're not looking at necessarily what's going on the road. You got your face in the phone. Many guys who are driving got their face in the phone. People don't read banners anymore when they're driving. Some guys do, but they're not acting on it. Very rarely do you actually act on a banner. Targeted marketing is the future. Facebook, Instagram, viral videos, shit like that. Banner ads are not the future. All right? Banner ads on the side of the road are not the future. PKGM. PKGM. Got a lot of volume. Got a lot of volume today. Pocket Games Unlimited. Looks like a pump and dump. DGAZ. DGAZ. Yeah, this is an inverted. So as natural gas sells off, this goes up. So natural gas is selling off as I just got done talking to bat scientists. So this is going back up. This could very well go, this could double in value here. So natural gas continues to sell off. So this is moving higher. It's an inverted ETF. Is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. All right. Yeah. I like the movie companies. I like the movie companies. I think you're gonna have a really, really good next several weeks in the movie companies. Ford Motor Company. Oh no, you're talking about Ford Industries. Ford Industries is fighting for its life, bro. I mean, it looks like it's fighting for its life. You had the gap up opening. You're running out of steam here. It looks like you're losing strength on the move. So, this looks like you're going to have a drop here real soon if you're not careful. Volume is lower than it's ever been. You had one of the worst days in the recent run in FORD. So this is losing steam, my friend. And this looks like it's going to be closing that gap down very quickly. As you can see, you're already down 50% from whatever this was back here on the 19th. But, yeah, this is fighting for its life, and it's not going to stay up there too much longer. All right, yeah. You said good support for 3 days. Yeah, it's got a bounce off of it, but it's losing strength. It's losing strength. In fact, let me put in another indicator. We can put in money flow just to kind of be able to identify. Let's use money flow. Let me go ahead and brighten that line up for you. And you can move it into, let's say, an hourly. Let's move it into hourly. And as you can see here, yeah. Oh, well, last couple, 31st and 1st, last 2 days has been fighting. It's fighting. Could possibly turn around here on the hourly, but it's you got to deliver volume. If the volume doesn't, volume's got to come back, bro. Volume comes to come back. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you put less than 500,000 shares in this tomorrow, you're coming down. You're coming down. All right? Let's get back to the daily. AKER, we took a look at that already, K-Mac. BBOX. Black Box Corp. Don't know anything about this. Black Box Corp. What is that? Don't know anything about that. But I do know about Black Box stocks. Blackboxtrader.org. Stocks got me up $6,000 for this week. Check out my Twitter. All I'm doing is just copy trading, guys. I'm literally just copy trading. That's literally what I'm doing. And looking at some great, making up some good decisions. But I'm really copy trading. Yep, Black Panther in a couple weeks. Let's look at this real quick. Let's look at PLG, Platinum Metals. Yeah, I don't know where we are in terms of gold and silver. You're going to have to, again, follow those things to really make sure you stay on those things. BTG, I know that's B2 Gold Corp. You're going to really have to follow those prices to stay on top of this. I like your, man, this starting is all over the place, but I know this follows. It's got really good volatility, and it follows gold very well. In fact, if we just look at gold by the ounce, in fact, let me just look at where's GLD. All right, so actually good. Wow, gold is actually doing really good. Let's zoom out a little bit. If you remember, I created this wedge several weeks ago, and you look at that breakout. Actually breaking out higher. This is a 2-year high here at 131.80. Break out of my wedge. Look at that. All right. Shout out to gold prices. Shout out to gold prices, breaking out of the wedge a little bit early there. So showing very, very, very much bullish momentum. Breaking out of my wedge real good, breaking that trend, moving higher, trying to get that 2-year high at 131.18. That goes all the way back to actually it's a multiple year. It goes back further than that 2 years. Excuse me, it goes back 4 years. This is March 3rd of 2014. March 3rd of 2014. You break that, that's a 4-year high on the GLD. You would be breaking there at 131.80. That's very bullish. Very bullish, breaking that 4-year high. My Twitter is OTC3000. Follow me at OTC3000. Instagram, free stock picks. I will go ahead and ring the bell. Again, thank you guys so much for watching my show. I appreciate it because I get as much out of this as you. I really do. I learned so much about trading. I've become a better trader because of the show. Thank you for taking the time to watch it. I really do appreciate it. I'm not here to become popular or anything like that. I'm here to make money and live the American dream, and I just believe that can happen for me. Just taking this day by day and learning what this is. That's already been happening for me, man. It's just, whatever you pay mind to, it really pays back dividends. And this is the most profitable business, in the world to be in. I don't have any employees. I don't need to bond. I don't need to pay insurance. This is the greatest business in the world. I'm just so biased, because I just feel like everybody is doing the wrong thing, besides this. I feel like everybody should be a trader, but obviously we need people out there doing other things in order to trade. But I just love this. I absolutely love it. Love being able to go into the market every day and find market inefficiencies and profit off them. This is an incredible thing. All right, so let's keep it going. Sign out here, ladies and gentlemen. Let me put my... Oh, let's start from the beginning. There we go. Raybo, Florida. Appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Please press like right now if this is your first time here. If you've been here and you just haven't pressed like yet, press like. If this is your first time here, period, press subscribe. Shout out to all the traders who were here, all my callers today. XF, Londell Carter, George M, Cool Cat Beats, Donzel Essex. Yeah, let me not miss your NAK, bro. We talked to NAK yesterday, but still selling off, going lower, man. Bats, I'm surprised Bats didn't call this up because it's headed for possible support too. Your low is at 54 cents though, so you're about 40 cents away. Could go lower. And Bullard, Joe Silva, Gucci, Andrew Gladness. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you, bro. Coralie, thank you. Beautiful Coralie, Michael B, John Rambo. Thank you, John, for supporting the show. Shout out to the people who support me on Patreon, send the PayPals, all that. I appreciate you guys. It just goes to my internet bill and just keeping the show going. I appreciate y'all. Bad Scientist as always. Corey Kwan. Oh, he did bring that up. Okay, he brought up NAK. K-Mac, Ricardo. All of you guys, man. This is the end of the show for the week. Enjoy the weekend. Love on your family members. Call somebody in your family you haven't spoke to in a while. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, take care. Happy trading tomorrow. See you back here, same time, same place on Monday. Take care.